Hi everyone, how are you all doing? My name is Natalie. If this is the first time that you're watching my videos, thank you for being here. I hope that if you enjoy what I do and share on this channel, you can consider subscribe and share it with your friends. In this video, we are talking about this week astrology forecast. I usually try to post it on Sunday, in Pacific time zone, or that will be like a Monday in earlier time zone, but this weekend was just so busy, so that's why this is a little bit late. But we have so much happening this week, so I really still want to come up and make the video. And the thing with astrology is I always encourage everyone, if possible, to treat this as a forecast, like a weather forecast, to see what might happen in the week, and so that you can get a little heads up. Oh, okay, today's energy might be a bit rocky. I'm just gonna prepare myself. Oh, today is a great day. I should utilize the energy, right? And by the end of the week, feel free to always come back. That is when you can really reflect and see, oh yeah, I did feel that energy. Oh wow, that one didn't really connect with me. Maybe because it didn't aspect your personal chart. Because yes, all these energy that I share, they will be felt by everyone, but some might feel it more intensely than the others because of how that aspect up in the sky is affecting your personal planets, your chart. So that's why I always check and see. I always mention what are the planets, what are the signs, what the degree. So feel free to check that with your own natal chart and see if it is aspecting your natal planets or your natal houses, and so on and so forth. So let's begin. We are talking about November the 3rd to the 9th of 2025. This week we have a lot. If you watch my previous week's video, I've talked about this grand water trine energy that actually started last week, and it continues to play out just a little bit more in the beginning of the week. And we wrap up that grand water trine energy with Mars in Scorpio having a trine with Neptune in Pisces at 29 degrees on Monday the 3rd. So today is kind of like that last leg of the grand water trine energy. So if you watch previous week video, you already know what that energy is like. But today, with Mars trine Neptune at 29 degrees, there's this sense of urgency because it's 29, the energetic degree. It's always like the crisis degree that I like to call. Some of us can feel that sudden urge, like I have to take action because it's the last degree, right? And it can also be the degree point where you're just like, oh, I just can't do this anymore. It's like that crashing out moment as well. So with Mars in Scorpio and Neptune in Pisces, this can be about asking yourself, what is that dream, inspiration, imagination that you have within you that you want to pursue, right? You keep thinking about, one day I'm gonna manifest this dream into reality. One day I'm going to take this inspiration and run wild with this idea, blah blah blah, right? Today is that day where perhaps you feel like you're finally ready. You have that courage to really ground them into the physical world and take tangible actions, because Mars in Scorpio is waiting for that moment, is plotting and planning for that right moment to strike. And with Neptune in Pisces, this is about your imagination, your dreams, right? And this can also be a day where you feel very called to do take action to do some kind of healing work. And with all these energy with Neptune and Pisces, this can definitely be a great day to like do some sound bath, meditation, visualization. This can be a moment to do some energy work like Reiki, or connecting with the water element. Since it's Scorpio and Pisces, this can be like breaking a sweat and going to the sauna, and so on and so forth. The next day, Mars is going to leave Scorpio and enter Sagittarius at 5:01 a.m. Pacific time, or 9:01 p.m. Hong Kong time. So just the time according to where you are in the world. Mars Sagittarius is like a 180 of Mars and Scorpio. It's a very, very different energy. Mars in Scorpio was this quiet, plotting, planning energy that is waiting for the right moment to strike, to take action, to like woof, right? It's that panther energy I always refer to, just waiting for that right moment to go, and you only have that one shot on your prey, right? Mars in Sagittarius is mutable fire sign, right? So it's spread, it's that forest fire that just go wild and like burn everything, right? So if I have this example might be triggering, but just hear me out. If you imagine you have this gun, right? You just go pa 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 pa, empty your whole magazine, and you know that is crazy that you're doing that, but you know by doing that you're gonna hit something. You're gonna hit that target. One bullet will hit the target, right? And the other 99 might just hit something, hit somewhere, hit the air, right? But that's Mars in Sagittarius in a nutshell, basically. So that is that F around and find out energy, right? That is this, yeah, just go do it, just give it a try, just like go for it, just see what happens. Because Sagittarius is this happy-go-lucky, this adventurous energy. Mars being in that energy is just like, oh yeah, why not, just give it a go. What do you have to lose, right? It's an experience. For Mars in Sagittarius, it's not so much about the result, the destination. It's more about just do it and enjoy the process and enjoy the journey, right? It's not about the outcome. And because Sagittarius is that Jupiterian rule energy, is zoom out and think really big, right? And it's just like, yeah, just go do it, who cares, right? And sometimes the downfall, the shadow aspect of Mars in Sagittarius is just like going everywhere, having a hard time to find its focus point, which is the total opposite of Scorpio. Mars and Scorpio want to laser focus, right? But in Sagittarius, Mars is like, yeah, whatever, just like burn it all down, it will hit somewhere, right? But Mars in Sagittarius with Jupiter energy, right, is also this strong belief that you are taking action based on your belief, your faith, your drive, right? What you think that is true, that is right, based on your faith, that you believe this is the right thing to do. This is the thing that you want to stand up for. That's why you take this action and do this thing. So during this Mars in Sagittarius transit, perhaps we will embody that energy. And of course, the great thing is that you might be more adventurous, you might be more courageous, you might embrace this energy of, yeah, why not, just do it and see what happens, right? That experimental energy, to just enjoy the process. At least you try, right? No matter if it works or not. So this might be a great time if you're shy, or if you have been thinking and sitting on something for a long time. This might be the transit that you finally like, you know what, I'm just gonna try it out and not think so much, right? But of course, the other side of it is that you might be reckless. You might be dogmatic with your reasoning, and people will be like, huh? Right? So beware and try to find a balance with this energy. Mars will stay in Sagittarius until mid-December. And right after Mars enters Sagittarius at 0 degree, it immediately opposes Uranus in Gemini. That's retrograding at 0 degree. And that is volatile energy. So just a few days ago, last week, we have Mercury that did the same. Right after it enters Sagittarius, it opposed Uranus, and we see some crazy headlines, right? We see verbal attacks, we see sudden argument. Perhaps this might happen in your world. You might have an argument or outburst of anger with someone, or someone do that to you, right? And now Mars is repeating, activating that degree point again. Of course, with Mars, there's this element of fire, there's this element of not just taking action, but also aggression. So unfortunately, opposing Uranus, this can also be an escalation in violence and escalation in like argument. The fire just like spread or just like burn unexpectedly. So people might snap. You might see people popping off and just losing the shit, right? Because of like something that you don't think worth it, but somehow it triggered that person and just go the other side, right? And of course, on a collective level, this can definitely be unexpected news, that unexpected attack, evenly escalating of attack or violence, because we do know what is happening around the world, and unfortunately, we might really see that. But with Uranus, there's this element of liberation as well. So for some people, this might be that push that you need to finally take action. The Mars, right? Mars and Sagittarius, to really take action. And Uranus in Gemini, break free from something, speak up for something, take action. Maybe you finally want to stand up for a cause. You want to share a post about what happening in the world so that you can spread the positive influence and encourage others to do so. Maybe this is in your personal world, you stand up for yourself and you break free from a situation. You liberate yourself from a situation, relationship that is not doing you any good, right? You're breaking free from something or someone. So it really depends where is it in your natal chart, you know, your Sagittarius and Gemini house, what are those themes and topics? Especially if you are, everybody is feeling this energy for sure, but especially if you are a mutable rising sign, that will be in your first house, right? If you are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces rising sign, especially Sagittarius, which I am, a Sagittarius rising, this is definitely something you want to be aware of, because Mars opposes Uranus is a accident prone energy. So everybody, especially the mutable sign people, please be extra cautious and careful with your surrounding. If you work in the kitchen, if you are handling fire, hot, sharp objects, please be careful. Cross your street, you know, be careful. Just don't chase that light, don't run for that light, or just wait, because it's a super accident prone energy. I'm not trying to create fear, but just to pay attention and be cautious, right? If you can know what's ahead, why not be careful? Why not bring that umbrella if it says it might rain, right? So the next day, on the 5th, we have the full moon in Taurus happening at 5:19 a.m. Pacific time or 9:19 p.m. Hong Kong time. So adjust the time according to where you are in the world. The sun will be in Scorpio, the moon will be in Taurus at 15 degrees 22 minutes. Whenever we have a lunation, whether this is a new moon or full moon in the sign of Taurus, it's not gonna, even if the aspect is gonna be like a bit iffy, there's still a bit of cushion, because the moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus, meaning that the moon enjoys being in Taurus. So even if there's like harsh aspect, there's still some cushion around it to kind of like allow us to breathe a little bit through the lunation. So this full moon's ruler is Venus, because Venus rules Taurus. And the interesting is that Venus during this full moon is at 28 degrees in the sign of Libra. 28 degrees in the sign of Libra was exactly the degree point of our previous new moon in Libra that we just had 2 weeks-ish ago. And during that time, the new moon in Libra was happening at 28 degrees in Libra. So in some way, shape or form, for some, not all, for some people, it might means that whatever new intention seeds that you plant, new intention that you set during that Libra new moon, perhaps this full moon in Taurus is energizing, right? Because the Venus is at that point is bringing in perhaps maybe some positive breakthrough, or maybe the first leaf is growing from that seed that you plant, right? Or you're gaining some insight because the full moon shine light on something, right? So maybe perhaps you will get some kind of information regarding to whatever new intention that you set. Whenever we have a lunation that happens on this Scorpio Taurus axis, they're sister signs, right? It's about resources, right? These two signs talk about resources, power. Taurus is everything that is tangible, that is in this physical world, is our sense of embodiment, right? Something you can feel and sense and embody. Whereas Scorpio is everything that is underneath. It's the underworld. It's things that you sense that might not be tangible, but you can sense. It can be Taurus is the beautiful vegetation that we see above the ground, the beautiful flowers, right? The tall, strong trees. And Scorpio is that mycelium system, that root system beneath that soil, that fertile soil to hold everything up, that make sure they all get nutrients and continue to grow. So that is whenever we get a lunation, that we will relate to that, which is the resources on this Mother Earth, right? It talks about finance. It talks about the power struggle dynamics that is happening on a collective level or in your personal world. It talks about the land, the food, the agriculture, right? The Taurus stuff, money, power. Scorpio and Taurus both talks about it. So the lunation, the full moon might shed light on those topics for you personally and on a collective level. So we'll have to see what happens, right? And another aspect that is happening during this full moon is what we just talked about, that Mars oppose Uranus situation, because it just happened the day before and they're still both at 0 degree during this full moon. So they're still very, very much being activated. So definitely there's this element of surprise, sudden changes, unexpected action, whether it's positive or negative. So be mindful and see what comes up for you, and just try to take a moment to ground yourself. The card in this decan, which is the second decan of Taurus, is represented by the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of give and take, reciprocity. This is about the balance. This is about finding the middle ground. This is about receiving help. So perhaps this lunation might give you something like that. It might be shedding a light where there's an area that is not balanced, that is not having that balance, give and take, that reciprocity with someone or with something. So this is about you realizing that and do something about it, right? So this can relate to all those topics we've just shared, right? The land, the resources, money, food, power struggle dynamics, and so on and so forth. So feel free to comment below, you know, which houses are they happening? What are the themes and topics? Perhaps it's about that topics as well, or those areas of your life as well. We have literally something happening every day. Next day on the 6th, we have Venus entering Scorpio at 2:39 p.m. Pacific time, or it's the next day for earlier time zone, November 7, 6:39 a.m. Hong Kong time. Venus is leaving her homes, one of her home sign, Libra, and enter a sign that she is in her detriment, which is Scorpio. So the vibe change. Venus in Libra loves the balance and harmony, right? This is the scale. It's about finding the balance, finding the sweet point. This is about, by doing so, sometimes the shadow side is people pleasing and even being fake, right? Not saying the truth to just keep everything there, right? But Venus in Scorpio is a 180. Venus in Scorpio is like, F that. I don't want balance. I just want what I want. If I desire that, I'm gonna find a way to get it, right? And that can be admirable in some way. To know what you want and go after it is great, right? But the downside, there's always light and shadow attribute of all energy. The shadow side of Venus in Scorpio is that obsessive, possessive energy. Is that I want to get what I want at any cost. This can be jealousy prone energy, very like, this is mine. Think about the ring, right? Lord of the Ring, go with the ring, right? Precious. It's like, I'm willing to do anything to get it, right? At all costs. And this is also that energy, like, if I can't have it, nobody else can have it. So beware of that energy, right? Because we might embody it, someone around you might embody it, but this is definitely Venus in Scorpio transit is definitely a transit where people might feel more magnetic. If they have that vibe connecting going on, they might be drawn to those energy, right? So you might find yourself attracted to something or someone, or vice versa. Venus in Scorpio can also be quite magnetic and alluring and sexy as well. So that is the vibe for Venus in Scorpio. This can also be a time where you are more connected, or being okay to feel vulnerable, to like allow yourself that, yeah, I do desire that. Like, I'm not gonna shy away from my desires, right? So that can also be you recognizing what you desire and not afraid to go after it, and don't need to feel the need to hide it also, right? So Venus will stay in Scorpio until November 30th or December 1st, depending on your time zone. On the same day, we also have Mars in Sagittarius having a sextile with Pluto retrograde in Aquarius at 1 degree. This is also a supportive energy to give you that little bit of boost to take courageous action. This is about taking action upon your desires, your dreams, right? Pluto in Aquarius is about the collective power, the power of people. Sextiling Mars in Sagittarius is about what you believe in, what do you want to stand up for the people, to fight for it, to fight for what you want, and let your voice be known and let your action be seen, right? So this is also a very adventurous, also courageous moment attack of action as well. Next day, November 7th, we have Venus in Scorpio square Pluto retrograde in Aquarius at 1 degree. So this square between Venus in Scorpio and Pluto in Aquarius is about power dynamics. It's about confronting and standing up for yourself, right? Against some power dynamic or struggle, or standing up against the oppressor, the bullies in your life, or on a collective level, right? Because it's a square, it's tough, right? Venus and Scorpio also sometimes is about knowing your worth and not gonna like sell yourself short and people please and just satisfy anyone, right? Venus and Scorpio is like, I don't do that, right? Pluto in Aquarius is about the power of people, like I said. So this can definitely be a day where there's some big news, right? We might see some sex scandals, right? Venus in Scorpio, Pluto squaring Pluto is definitely secret being revealed. Having Venus, this can be sex scandal being exposed. Maybe this is more about more stuff from the Epstein file case might open up, might come out. This can also be a day, not all definitely, but if you are experiencing any kind of abuse, this is the day where you are like, enough is enough. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm breaking free. I am leaving. I am standing up for myself. I am fighting back. So for some, this can be a moment of liberation. So whatever you're moving through, if this is the push that you need to do it, I encourage you to take advantage of this energy. On the same day, on the 7th, Uranus retrograde is going to re-enter Taurus. So Uranus retrograde back into Taurus, and this is the last time, one last final time that we will experience Uranus in Taurus for a long time. Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018. It has been 7 years that Uranus has been trying to shake up and change up your Taurus house. The themes, topics, areas of life, which house is ruled by Taurus. Maybe those stuff has like a 180, right? It's very different now. Uranus is the planet of awakening, revolution, disruption, innovation, and change. So Taurus is the slowest sign that will not budge, but having Uranus in there in the past 7 years, perhaps maybe this is the last leg where you're finally like, you know what, I give up, I need this change, I really need to shake things up, it's no longer working, I am letting go of control. Okay, yeah, I have to, right? So for some maybe this is the case, but for some maybe this is that last leg of journey to see what changes, what revolution has Uranus and Taurus brought you since 2018. And on a collective level, we definitely see all these Taurus theme getting a big shakeup. Like cryptocurrency, they got real big, right? And there's like highs and lows throughout the past 7 years. It dominated and become, you know, a big thing. And then we also have all the resources, right? That we saw innovation of food. I myself personally have a 180 change. Like this Taurus, this Uranus and Taurus really shake up a lot for me. And perhaps I'll make a separate video to talk about it. But yeah, like there's a lot of new innovation on those genetically modified food like Beyond Meat, Impossible Meat, the Just Egg and all this stuff. They all got really big. They all came out during this transit. On a personal level, of course, right? Take a look at your Taurus house, and I actually had made a Uranus video that talks about everything, you know, what's been happening the past 7 years since 2018, and what is this Uranus and Taurus energy was like, and what is this Uranus and Gemini energy will be like. We did have a little glimpse the last couple of months, and there is a all sign reading that I did for every single rising sign. You can definitely check your own message. I'll remember to link it in the description box below so you can check out that video for all the juicy details. So be sure to check that out. This last leg of Uranus in Taurus will last until next year. Uranus will re-enter Gemini next year, April 25th or 6th, depending where you are in the world, and that's it. No more Uranus in Taurus. So this is going to be a big one for all of us. Lastly, one more thing. This week is constantly going up and down with all this different kind of aspect. Lastly, on Sunday on the 9th, Mercury station retrograde, at 6 degrees 51 minutes in the sign of Sagittarius. This is the phase 2 of Mercury retrograde journey that I referred to, because we did have that pre-shadow phase of Mercury retrograde, which is the phase 1 that started October 21st. So whatever happened from October 1st till November 9th, that is your phase 1 of pre-shadow of Mercury retrograde. Now the actual Mercury retrograde happens from November 9 till November 29 or 30th, right? So this, you might find yourself, whatever that is happening between October 21st till November 9, in the following month, like till the end of November, they might come back. They might need a little redo or renovation. You might want to go back to them. Something didn't work, might come back, and the energy will split different, because Mercury will retrograde first in Sagittarius and back in Scorpio and station direct at I believe 20 degrees. Yes, 20 degrees, 42 minutes in the sign of Scorpio. So the vibe definitely will be very different the first half and the second half of the Mercury retrograde. So take a look and see which houses are ruled by Scorpio and Sagittarius. Those themes, topics, areas of life might experience this Mercury retrograde reevaluate all the RE's energy. So there is a lot happening this week. I know, so much, and it's just like a roller coaster, right? Because all these aspects, there's like some more positive, some is more like, ooh, be careful, some is more like, oh my god, and we end the week with an Mercury retrograde. So hopefully you know how to navigate through this energy. Always remember, I love connecting with you all. Comment below, let me know how you find this video, what happened during your week. Come back and let me know. And if you want a more personal reading catered to your natal chart, I do all kinds of astrology consultations, tarot and akashic records reading. I also offer distant Reiki energy healing sessions. Feel free to contact me. My email is in the description box below. And if you want to support me, there's also a link over there. Follow me over on Instagram. I would love to continue to build this community with you all, and I will see you next time, and take care. Bye.